You are listening to the Fits and Healthy podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lauren Fitzgerald, also known as Lauren Fitz. I'm a medical doctor, a fitness instructor, an entrepreneur, a health and fitness coach, but most importantly, I am a lover of life. And here on the Fits and Healthy podcast, I intend to give you a ton of great information and knowledge that will serve as potential power so that you can live a life by design and make it more fits and healthy. And don't forget to listen to the disclaimer at the end. I'm not your doctor, yo. All right, enjoy the episode. Much love. Ciao. Hello and welcome to the Fits and Healthy podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lauren Fitz, and I am joined by my lifetime best friend, Allison Curbo-Laird, right here in Laguna Beach, California at the Marriott. You see Dana Point behind us. And of course, I cannot forget to mention my beautiful co-host, Cynthia from Cynthia.com. What's up, girl?
Hey, girl, hey. Well, I guess, hey, girls, hey.
Right? So it is Saturday, and my girls here are like, what are we talking about? So you guys, the Fits and Healthy podcast, we are celebrating our 3-month birthday in a couple of days on the 1st of August, right? And this is just the beginning of a crazy adventure that we started on the 1st of May. And I usually give Cynthia literally an hour heads up, sometimes not even that, what we're talking about. Because this is how I work. I have ideas and I'm like, oh, that's great. Let's do it. And I don't really think beyond that. Right? Yeah. So let me give you guys a good introduction of who this chick beside me is. And I'm going to tell you what we're talking about. So this podcast, we're recording live. So if you're watching it live, that's awesome. But I still want you to download the actual version that will go onto our podcast on the Fits and Healthy podcast in a few weeks, whenever it's meant to go upload. So, okay. This podcast is going to be about friendship and the importance of friendship, specifically in a female's life. Now, if you're a dude, this is still important for you to listen to, because if you're a dude, you most likely have females in your life. I don't care if you're straight or gay, you have females in your life, and understanding the importance of friendship in our lives as females is so important. So let me start by explaining this chick to you. Where do we start, right?
I don't even know. Don't tell the story.
The story. Dude, we have so many stories, it's not even funny. So long story short, dance is what initially brought us together. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to go live on the Club Fits Fitness page, because Club Fits Fitness started out as dance fitness. It's pretty much more than dance fitness now. It's all-encompassing fitness, right? But it started out with dance fitness, and our friendship started out in the dance studio. Shout out to Jody Grant Dance Studio.
Jody Grant Dancers.
So Jody Grant Dance Studio was in Waco, Texas, where we met, and we had this whole thing called Junior Company and Senior Company. Now, she was in junior company and I was in senior company. And at this moment in my life, I thought that I was the coolest cat in town. I mean, I wasn't, but I thought in my head I was. And I thought I was too cool for school because Curbo, because I've always called her Curbo, guys. Just so you know, I had like 5 friends named Allison. So she was always Curbo. Even though now her married last name is Laird, she's still Curbo. So Curbo and I had to room together for a dance convention, and it was Dallas, right?
Yeah.
And I was so annoyed. Not even kidding. Now, I didn't know her, okay?
You diva.
I know, for real. It's like, I look back and I'm like,
really annoyed.
Wait, how old were y'all at this time? Like, how old were y'all?
11, 12?
Yeah, 11 or 12.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dang.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, it was a long. We're 37 now, so it's a long-term friendship.
Yeah.
And I remember, so dance conventions, the way that they happen is that basically your dance company members, junior and senior company, go for, it's usually a 3-day weekend, and you have to have chaperones, right? So it's usually a mom, it's usually multiple moms, right? And anywhere up to 3 girls in the room, because usually, you know, like I have to share the bed with my mom because my mom was always a chaperone. And so this particular dance convention, my mom wanted to go and she had to room with me. And I was so annoyed because I didn't really know her. And I thought she was annoying at the time, but this was the beginning of a really amazing friendship. So I start off with just this terrible attitude and end up, that was like was it Tremaine or was it,
Yeah.
or Dance Caravan?
Oh, I don't know.
Those were the two main dance conventions that we went to. And it was literally the most fun dance convention ever. So I essentially put my ego aside and realized, like, this chick is not annoying. She's funny as hell.
But it was a little bit annoying.
Maybe just a little.
I'm an acquired taste.
So there was one particular, and I won't tell the whole details of the story.
Don't tell the whole detail.
All I can tell you is that we were doing something over the balcony. I don't know what we were throwing
money.
No one was injured,
No.
just so you
We
know.
were
And
just dropping like dimes.
yeah, and no
from
one,
like the 10th floor
Yeah.
to the lobby.
and no one got like gum in their hair or anything crazy like that. But we thought it was so funny. And I don't even remember what happened, but it was so funny
I
that
peed myself.
she peed herself.
Like bad.
she
But that's a sign of having fun.
It is.
It's
It
like
is.
my litmus test. Like,
Yes.
did you pee your pants? Yes. All right. It was a fun time.
And for the record, that was the first of many times.
Many.
She's peed in her pants.
Oh my god.
Many. I have really good control too.
She does.
It's just laughing.
But she like that's when you know that you are having a good time.
Yes.
That's her
Totally.
litmus test.
Yeah.
So literally after that, my whole ego of, I'm too cool for school
She
because
was
I'm in
still
senior.
cool.
But in my mind's eye, like my view totally changed of you. Like it went from I'm too cool for you to like, oh my gosh, you're awesome. I want to hang out with you because you're so much fun. And that was the beginning of this friendship that still,
Same.
it's crazy. I
It's
mean,
like yesterday.
yes.
I think I peed myself
Yeah.
on the beach. She showed me how to Snapchat yesterday, and I've never laughed so hard. I've never done it before. I was like, my 18-year-old nephew does this. It's so cool.
So she was inundated with Snapchat because
was awesome.
I haven't really been doing a lot of Snapchat lately, and I know IG stories. I don't know if they have the fun filters, but that's
Not really.
not yet, right?
Not really. I mean, they're trying, but
yeah,
and you're
'cause-
welcome because I begged Lauren to get on
To get-
Snapchat.
Yeah,
was
She's
like-
like, I don't know what it is. She's like, I don't know what it
Same.
is. I'm not about it. And I'm like, Lauren, you're gonna be about it. And
You
now
need
she's
to
like
be-
a Snapchat addict.
It's really funny.
It is.
It's really
It
funny.
is. Yeah.
We did the fat faces. This one.
and we rapped.
And we rapped.
We rapped to
Of
cross
course
off.
you did. Yeah,
Jump,
of course you did.
jump, Mac, Dad'll make you jump,
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 jump.
Daddy Mac will make you. So this is how we have been literally since we were 11 years old. So
Mm.
that's 25 years ago, right? Math
Oh,
in public.
I don't know. I don't do math.
It's
a weekend.
So she was my wild, fun, crazy friend because I went to the public school called Midway High School and she went to the private Catholic school. Now, mind you, granted, there were partiers at Midway, but Riker, that was like the crazy people, right?
Catholic kids.
Yeah.
Catholic school kids.
And I didn't drink in high school, but I still wanted the experience of that, the going to the high
a
school party.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they were so lame.
So bad.
So lame. Shout out to no, never mind.
No.
But the fact is that the friendship and the bond that started as teenagers
Yeah.
has just grown and it became something special right away, but it stayed something special.
Mhm.
And I think that the timing of this podcast is perfect because Cynthia just got back from an amazing trip. So you want to tell
I
everyone what
did.
she just got back from?
So last weekend, I love how you're like, I'm watching the anticipation on your face right now, Lauren.
I'm like, what are you going to tell?
So last weekend, I got to go to Las Vegas for the weekend with a bunch of my friends for my bachelorette party. And my best friend, who has been my best friend since 4th grade, so it's a lot like you guys, she
Yep.
traveled 26 hours
Oh my gosh.
to be there
Where does she
for a
live?
3-day weekend. She lives in Alaska.
That's awesome.
So it took her
Isn't it?
4 flights and 26 hours to be there.
That is
And I
a
just was
friend.
like, that
For
if
real.
that's not a best friend, I don't know. And she
That's
like,
awesome.
so her and I flew in a day before everybody else because we don't see each other often,
Yeah,
you
so
know?
have the
So
time.
Yeah.
What's her name?
So her name is Erin. Shout out to Erin
Shout out to
Goodrich.
Erin. Yeah,
She
for
knows
real.
who she is.
For real. You
Like
gotta
if
shout
that's
her
not
out.
I don't know who
No,
is.
for real.
But she took me to this really dinner at like this restaurant. Like she wined and dined me. Like she like friend.
Yeah.
She's a good friend.
That's so
But we had so much fun together. A lot of fun.
You're not gonna tell any more stories,
what happens in Vegas.
right?
Stays in
in
Vegas.
But
We had a lot of fun.
total friends that met you there for your bachelor weekend was how many?
5.
5.
So there was 6 of us total. Yeah.
And you all
That's fun.
were you all close friends together, or those just happen to be 5 friends from different parts of your life?
You're the head.
5 friends from different parts of my life, but it's so funny because your vibe totally attracts your tribe. Because like the minute
Yeah.
they all met, they were like, "Wow!" Like they
Yeah,
had been
we're
friends
friends.
forever.
Yeah.
Like everybody
Yes.
got along so well. Which like that's saying something to have 6 girls staying in
Yes.
one room,
Seriously.
Yes.
3 girls
for
a
real.
bed. Like that's a lot. If you can all stand each other and have fun for a 4-day weekend, yeah. So
Yeah.
we had so much fun though.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little sciencey, and this podcast, this
I'm gonna
episode is
tune out.
yeah, it's not gonna be a sciencey podcast, but I do want to recognize the fact that there is something that happens to us females
Mm.
on a chemical hormonal level when we are surrounded by our girlfriends.
Yeah.
There is a hormone called oxytocin. It's the feel good hormone. It's the hormone that mothers get with their
nursing.
Yes, exactly.
It makes me high
It-
when I was nursing.
When-
I literally felt high.
yeah.
So,
So she's a mom.
I don't
of 2
know. Y'all
kids.
were talking about some crazy high school days. I mean,
I didn't never do that though.
Nope.
That's what's really funny.
No,
I
no,
was straight alcohol.
yeah, yeah, no. I may or may not have been her designated driver on a few occasions. Yeah,
She's
Yeah.
probably the reason I'm alive. Right now.
good friend right here.
I'm not that wild anymore, y'all.
Yeah, no,
I don't
she's
know.
actually way more
Really
straight
mild.
laced than me.
Very mild.
No, she's a responsible mom who still can make me laugh and still like, oh, so much fun. I have to tell you about one story that we had.
Oh no.
The iron-on story.
Oh. Hush.
So okay, so Colleen, my mom. It's Colleen. So, my mom has always been the conservative Christian that is, Colleen. And we were talking about this just yesterday. So it was for Corrigan.
Dance where the girls ask the boy, and then you wear this matching shirt. And we normally got our matching shirts at Structure. Do you remember Structure?
Dude, she's too young for Structure. Yeah.
It's like
She's
fake
23.
polos that were
She's-
really thin and plaid and had jean collars.
They're so ugly.
I mean, we're
like,
dating ourselves.
Yeah,
I mean, it was 1994.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was the year I was born.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
God, no, she's the millennial. Yeah, I know, right? She's 23.
I feel cool talking to you.
Right?
I know somebody young.
Yeah. So,
It's
so
cool.
we had a
You're
bright
with
idea.
me, girl. It's cool.
Yeah.
I went with her.
So actually, this was your idea.
Here's my ID. I look so young.
Yeah, this was your idea because you came up with the
somebody
ideas.
else's idea.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, I'm not original. I just copy. I'm like a Pinterest
Yeah,
follower. I just
before
make it
Pinterest
happen.
came
Yeah,
around.
before Pinterest.
So tell them what your idea
Okay,
was.
so the idea was we were going to be really clever and no one would understand. Oh, it was 96. That's why we did.
Oh,
yes. Okay. So it was Corrigan 96. And so on our shirts, we were going to write Corrigan 96 and on the back mirror image. And so it would say Corrigan 69.
Get it?
Because we were like,
Oh, girl, I
69,
get it.
it's bad. I don't even think we knew.
But neither of us
it
knew what
was.
69
We
was.
just
Oh
knew
my
we were
gosh.
supposed to
Yeah.
talk
But you
about
just
it or
wanted to be
say it or-
cool.
Yeah,
Just wanted to be a
we're
rebel.
so rebel. We're so bad.
Yeah.
And we-
Yeah.
96, 60. What do you mean? We just flipped
Yeah,
the image. We don't
totally.
do anything bad. But then Colleen was like,
Yeah, we were literally
Mama
were in the
Fitz
extra
said no.
bedroom. Oh yeah, we were in the extra bedroom at my parents' house that they still live in. We were ironing, and my mom walks in and sees what
What's
that is
that?
and wouldn't let us wear it. Shout out to Mama Colleen. She did a good job momming
keeping
us.
this in line.
Yep.
Keeping this in- no girls am out of this house. 69 shirt.
Yeah. No, because I mean Waco, Texas. It's a little conservative, and yeah.
It is.
But the dance bond started out this friendship that we still dance together. In fact, When
Just
I,
Dance?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the video game Just Dance.
Yeah,
It's so funny because even when we were like 12 and we were on stage, the Lauren's doing the same thing, and all of her dance recital videos for her. She looks exactly the same facial expressions. It's awesome.
People
That's
always
awesome.
like there are haters out there that talk crap about my
Oh.
facial expressions. Can you
Oh my
believe
gosh,
that?
the stink eye?
That's like my favorite. Like
I
because
know.
It's just
you have dancer's face, which is where like people should be focusing on your face and not what your body's doing, so that if you mess up, it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
you have dancer face, and I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been that way my entire
Forever,
life.
forever.
Hashtag
You
dancer
can't-
face.
And you
Yeah.
can't like teach that.
No,
No.
that's just
No.
it.
You either got it or you don't. Yeah, you either
Yeah,
got it
I
or you don't.
My dance faces are normally like,
No, in fact, dude, we have to stand up to show them.
what? Oh,
Show-
yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
how do we-
so for my Club Fits
We can just
Fitness
go like
members, we can't. We're wearing leggings.
we look like a Siamese twin.
No kidding. So we're about to. So she has not. I have 4 new choreographies, 4 new songs that I've got to
Yeah.
film, and so I was like, brilliant idea. We can film them out here together, and so we're wearing like she has
Matching
yes,
leggings.
she text messaged me last night when I got home because I hung with her and her husband yesterday, and she was like, wear Katie or pants because I have them. I'm like, yes, because she originally she sent me a message like, I didn't bring anything cool hip hop, right? So I'm gonna have to borrow a flannel shirt that I can wrap around my waist, yo. I was like, yeah, no, I
I
never
better
really
say
nervous
nervous.
69 on it.
Right. Too late
You
for
guys
that
should've-
iron.
you guys should've
I
worn-
to spray paint that on my jean jacket.
Yeah, y'all should have worn 69 jerseys when you
We
do
should've.
this.
We should.
Do you have your jean
Just
jacket?
did. Yeah.
Okay, so
Obviously.
Y'all are gonna go get some iron-on
Yeah.
patches.
go get your jean. Okay, so jean jacket. So in the Jody Grant Dance Company, we I don't even. Why did we get those matches? Was it for convention? Yeah, it was just for the dance company members.
Yeah.
It was a blue jean jacket with our names on it and big in puff paint. You remember puff paint?
Yes.
Yes, she's not too young to remember puff. Okay, good. Puff paint with Jody Grant, and then our names were on it.
Yeah.
And she
With, like,
messaged me.
music notes.
Yeah, so she's in town
And we
because
just put all of our buttons on it. for the
Yeah.
convention.
she's in town because her husband's job brought them here, and they
Yeah.
had an engagement party. In which the engagement party?
It's not an engagement party. It's
Oh.
a ping pong tournament.
Oh, I thought that was. Oh.
No. Oh, because the Mr. and Mrs. No,
Yes.
that's just one of his guys is getting married.
Okay, so
And
this
we
just
got their
happened.
jacket. No, so Levi's was giving away jackets, and then they had airbrush painters there, and you could donate money to this organization and get
Yeah.
your jacket airbrushed. So,
check
obviously,
this out.
I got mine airbrushed with my name.
She's got
Oh my
a
gosh,
jean
that's
jacket
so
with
awesome.
Allison on it.
That's so awesome.
Can I just
And I'm
tell
so
you?
thankful because it's chilly here, and I've been wearing it all the time.
No, but the moment she messaged me, I just got a jean jacket. I literally went to Jody Grant
Grant.
Dance Company, and then that was the next thing she said.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing, you guys. She lives in Houston. I don't see her every day. We don't talk every day. She's a
Yeah.
busy mom, right?
Yeah.
But true friendship, you can pick up just like
Mhm.
this.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter
Yeah.
how long it's been. I don't know. For those of you that follow me online, whether it be Instagram or Facebook, she's my friend who we literally. So she's notorious for coming up with crazy ideas and being like, "Let's do it. Why not?" Because this girl right here, she is the epitome of. She's always just been her. She's been
Yeah.
comfortable in her own skin, and she's never let what society might think about what she says or is doing or about to do stop her from just being her. And so literally it was, why were Kelsey and I there? Oh, it was for the Beachbody speaking event, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
and y'all taught a master class.
yes.
Yeah.
No, we didn't do a master class. That was just the speaking event,
Oh,
right?
I don't know.
Anyway, it was like flash thunderstorms in Houston, and all of a sudden there's flooding, right? What-
Houston floods every time it rains.
Yeah.
yeah.
so-
yeah.
So what do? Of course, we put on floaties and get in the middle of her street.
With snorkels.
With
Yes.
like
yes.
on rafts.
Yeah, that was her
Floating.
idea.
So awesome.
The neighbors are like
So
peeking out their
awesome.
windows.
Like, what's going on?
Yes, we are grown-ass women
Yes,
in
that's
snorkels.
awesome.
laughing.
That's
It
so
was-
awesome.
yeah.
It makes me sad when people don't have friends that they can laugh at.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That they pee in their pants with.
Yes. Yes, that's how seriously, that's like my litmus test for good friend. Like
Yep.
my friend
Yeah.
Emily in Houston, when I was like, I knew we were
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
when I peed my pants at Chuck E. Cheese. And I was like, we're best friends.
Shout
That's
out to
what
Omni.
Yeah. I mean, it's the laughing is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But
Like I
it's-
thought I was depressed because I hadn't peed myself like my freshman year of college. I didn't laugh hard enough, and I was like, something's missing in my life.
And then you met
And
Amelie.
it's laughing that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. No. And finding true friends like that, man,
Mm.
it's not easy. And we were actually talking
It's
about
not.
this just yesterday. It's
Yeah.
you know, I've got a handful of friends that I grew up with that I know that I could call in a second if I needed
Yeah.
them. And we stay in touch. We have a group text message. There's about 8 of us females that all went to Midway High School. Shout out to Midway Panthers. Woo, woo. and you know, and we can pick up like that if,
Yeah.
even though I haven't seen them in probably 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But as an adult, man, it's not easy.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
And to find true friends that really love you unconditionally for your good and bad,
Yeah.
are your biggest support in good and bad times,
Mhm.
and are there when you need to ugly cry,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Or be dumb
or be dumb.
and
Or
not
just be
feel like
dumb.
people are going to see us
Yeah.
being dumb
Yes.
because people need to be dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without judgment.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like when I think as a new mom, you like go through a period of seclusion. You don't really see a lot of
Mm.
people. And I was
Mm.
meeting people at the park. I met Amelie at the park. But then outside of the park where you're with your kids, so you're like one eye is on a conversation, the other eye is on your
Yeah.
kid running around. You don't get to have a lot of in-depth conversations. That's why I think it's so important. Like for me, what you see is what you get from the very first second that you meet me. I don't have a very strong filter, and I'm just kind of
She
like,
doesn't do fake.
here it
Kind of
is.
like me.
I don't have time for fake.
No.
That's such a waste of everybody's time, and I'm really bad at it. So I
It's a good
know,
thing, though.
like if you know me from the very beginning and you came back, then we might be able to go to Chuck E. Cheese together.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's how much you mean to me.
You guys, I wanted her to be on the Fits and Friday Q&A live yesterday, and she couldn't just because they were in LA doing business stuff, but she sent me a picture of her food, and she was like, I don't think this is Fits and Healthy worthy. She stopped at In-N-Out Burger. Shame.
I bet I was like, look, my fries don't have cheese on them, and my burger has tomatoes
I'm making
and
good
lettuce.
options, right?
Exactly.
I am exercising restraint. This is
Exactly.
control. Control.
No,
and
but
indulgence
but
all in one.
she doesn't teach dance fitness, but she actually teaches a really cool it's called
Legree.
not Lagrange, not Lagrange. Legree Pilates.
Lagrange?
And
Legree. It's not
Oh,
Pilates.
oh, okay.
It's just Legree.
It's just Legree.
It's similar to
It's,
Pilates.
it's like Pilates.
way
Okay.
more intense.
It is way more
Okay.
intense. I went before
lot
she
of
got
nothing.
certified. I went and took a class with her. It was so funny
It was so funny.
because you have to remember the area of town that it's in Houston. It's like all
Everybody's
of
very
these-
like focused
Very
and
uppity,
quiet and
like yeah.
Uh-huh.
just like nobody talks or
No.
interacts. And then Kelsey and Lauren were in the class and they're like, "Oh yeah, run baby, burn!"
It was
I love
awesome.
it.
It was like it was the
But
first.
Jasmine was like, "I love your energy," because usually no one's doing anything.
No,
Yeah.
no.
It's like in my classes, if I can make someone laugh, I'm like,
Yes.
yes, score.
Yeah. Y'all have bar 3 in Houston, right?
I think so.
bar 3, Pure Bar, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time that Kelsey and I went to a bar 3 class together, because that is like full of females that just take themselves too serious.
Mm.
And then there's
Mm.
Kelsey and I, and I mean, like,
Yeah.
you could just feel the energy. Like they wanted to hate us, but then there were some times that you just couldn't help but just laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They also wanted to be like, I want to be fun.
Yeah.
Where's my friend that I can
Oh,
with?
I want to be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you have to be fun to be fun.
For sure. For sure. Well, I know. I think you need to
True
set
that.
your ego aside.
Hashtag wisdom.
Wisdom.
No, it's hashtag set your ego aside.
That's
Right? Yeah. I mean, and that's the beautiful thing. I think any relationship in life, whether it be a significant other, a friendship, a relationship with a parent or a child, it can't be its full greatness if you both don't set your ego aside and really practice selfless love. And love is an action verb. I mean, it's not a noun. It's an action verb. And just the friendship. I love you. It's friendship is something that we females need in our lives. And like I was talking, getting a little bit sciencey, the oxytocin is something real. And, this is one of the innate differences in men and women. I don't know who quoted this. I did not come up with this quote for the record, but if you want to make a male happy, have him talk to a female that's important to him. If you want to have a female get happy, have her talk to her female friends. And I really do think that that's true. And not to say that, there hasn't ever been a male that has, made us happy and brought us.
Yeah, it's different.
But it is different.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, Matt is my best friend by far, hands down. He's my partner in life and just we're team, and that's just, but it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different.
Yep.
And he absolutely, loves me and cares for me more than any woman will in the world, except probably my mom. Hi, Marilyn.
Shout out to Marilyn.
But I mean, it's just different. Girl relationships are just
and it was cool because last night, so I got here, I don't know, in mid-afternoon, and we all went and walked on the beach, and Matt knew, like she and I went and talked, and he just kind of gave us our time to talk, and he was just good man. Their family is what a family should look like. I mean, it's just, she's a great mom, a great wife. He's a great husband, a great dad, and their kids are, they're so awesome. But, I think that if you have that in your home, you have that in your friendships.
Yeah,
for
sure.
And
vice versa.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for me, I think college in my 20s, like the stage that you're at right now, Cynthia, that was the hardest for me. I remember, and I won't call out any names because it always surprises me who from my past follows me.
You'll get a message.
But
right after you say their name.
But I had a few friends in college that, for me, I put my heart and soul into a friendship, and I am definitely a giver. And anyone that has ever been in my life, whether it be long-term or temporarily, will tell you I am a giver. And when there were 2 or 3 females that came into my life as friends temporarily in college, and I would consistently give and they would consistently take. Yeah. And there was no giving back. Every now and then maybe, but for the most part, I was constantly giving. And the reality of like, this sucks. This is, it's not a true friendship. And
I mean,
and most of the time you don't realize it until so far down the road. And you're like, gosh, I was just, cause you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. And you're like, I love you however you come.
Right.
But then you realize they don't really love me however I come.
Yeah.
Right.
It's love and fun and friendship whenever it's fun.
Conditional,
when it's not just when it's convenient.
Yes.
Especially for me right now, getting married and running a business of my own and doing this podcast thing, you realize who your friends are real quick. Yeah. Yes. And some of my friends are like, do your thing, girl. Like when we have time together, it's awesome. And I have other friends that are like, why don't you hang out with me anymore? I'm like, and I think Tanner is also, I mean, even as a guy, he's experiencing the same thing because he's going to school, he's working, and he's getting married. And, when you start to throw those kind of responsibilities and changes in your life in the mix, you realize like who will stick around for that and who's there to help you and who's just there like when it's convenient,
to suck off of you when you can give.
Right.
And it's not necessarily a material thing. Sometimes it can be material things.
But even if sometimes it's just time. And just
time is more valuable
let me talk to you
than
about
anything in the world.
Yes. But and a lot of times it's even just let me talk to you about me. You know, like
Mhm.
they just, even if it's not, they don't want to take things from you, but they just want to take your energy.
Yes.
So that they can talk about them,
energy.
which
Yeah.
is like,
Yes.
if you're a friend, of course, like I'm going to be here and be an ear to listen, but like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes you have to talk about something other than yourself, you know, and a
Yeah.
lot,
Yep.
especially people, I mean, people my age right now, we're still in such a selfish stage. Like, even though I'm getting married and like, I'm still making selfish decisions in my business, in my relationships, because that's just where
Right.
I'm at in life. And so,
Yeah.
of course, that's where many people at my age are at, and that affects the friendship. You know, you
Definitely.
really realize if you can depend on someone or not based off of how they manage themselves. You know,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's a really good
Yeah.
point.
A good litmus test is if every time you talk to a friend, if 90% of the time is spoken about them and them
Yeah.
telling you everything, and then
It's like, I gotta go.
yeah, or at the end, how are you, by the way? Like, if that happens every time
Yeah.
you're talking,
yeah,
you might want to reevaluate that friendship.
yeah.
And
Well, go ahead.
go ahead.
Well,
You were what?
Tanner and I were actually talking about this exact thing this week. And I
Oh,
told him,
yeah?
I was like, you know, I said, if you are like the group leader of your friends, you need to get new friends, because you don't
Yes.
want to be like, okay, cool, you're head honcho of like 3 other people. Like, no, you want to be surrounded by people that you want to level up, not that you are the
Yes.
one level. It should be a
Mhm.
mutual thing of respect, and like, you push me and I push you. Like, we're going to
Yeah.
do this together, not like, hey, I
Iron
need you to
sharpens
drag
the
me
iron.
up. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and again, another quote that I won't claim, but I've talked about it many times. You are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
Yes.
And honestly, it wasn't until my 30s that I truly like took that to heart. Actually, I don't even think I heard it before my 30s, to be honest. I didn't really start doing personal development, and I was showing her all of my books on Audible that I read. And
You mean every Audible book that's
yes,
available?
yeah.
She has the whole library, so.
No, but you know, it wasn't until I heard that, and I really just like took that to heart. Like,
Yes.
the 5 people that I spend the most time with, if they are not people that make me want to be better and stronger, and
you like want your kids to grow up to be like them.
Yeah,
That's because
yeah.
now that like
Yes.
everything that we do, our kids are watching, and that's what their
Yes.
expectations for their
Yes.
friendships will be. And
yes.
you know, like, if I'm
Yes.
like, this person's my friend, but I never ever see them, or you know, and like
Yeah.
I'm in a season of life that my time is I want to spend my time with my kids. Like, they're
Yes.
only gonna be
I was thinking about that
out
because
of school like
her youngest is going to school now 3 days
3
a week.
days a week. Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Like, thinking like, why would you not want her 5 days a week? And
Yeah.
then she was like, because I only get this,
2
know,
more
time.
years.
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah, because you actually want.
You're a mom,
I
not a
wanna-
mom.
Yeah.
Mom, not a mom.
I want to be with them. a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But then all my other girlfriends, like in Houston, there's a big group of us. We all kind of had kids at the same time. And when we can, we get the kids together. But honestly, like down the street from each other, we don't see each other very often. It's
Yeah.
like birthday parties and, you know, an occasional like see you at the children's museum or whatever.
Yes.
But it's those friends that we all get it, you know? It's like
Yes.
we're all on this, we're all doing the same thing. We
Yeah.
all suck at being friends right now.
Yeah.
But we'll be there on the other side.
Yeah.
And nothing has
Yes.
changed.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just like
Yes.
we're totally in different phases
I
of our life.
know.
We always have
Yeah.
been
I
though.
always have been.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she even went to Texas A&M and I went to UT. Like, that's
I mean,
rival.
yeah, yeah.
I was disgusted.
Yeah, but she ended up moving to Austin and falling in love anyway.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. I think your
Nope.
friends are there on the other side of all the bad things. And when
Yeah.
when you turn into a different person, which I did, and
Yeah.
do stupid stuff, and you go through the
You didn't turn into a different person. You went through a few rough phases.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's just life.
It's
you know?
life.
Everybody,
Yeah, no, for
Yeah.
sure.
everybody has it, and you handle it on varying degrees, and people handle it differently.
Yeah.
and,
Without judgment
yeah.
and with love.
Yes.
And
yeah.
I mean, I remember there was one conversation I remember because I was in San Antonio. It was one of your lowest moments in time. And I was driving to what's the outdoor mall that's there by Fiesta, Texas?
Corey.
No, not the Corey. Anyway, the nice one that has all the like Neiman's and whatever. Anyway, I drove there. I was going there for something, and I sat in the parking lot for 2 hours talking to you.
Mm.
And like because I remember I didn't have much time that day, and
it was when I first moved to Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah.
it was a low point. But I mean, we hadn't talked in.
I just like, there's times when you're like, I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing next.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
that's when your friends come and they show up and
And they put things aside, even
they
if
pick you
it's-
up. You know? 'Cause
Yes.
sometimes your face is just on the ground.
Yep.
And
Yes.
they come and scoop you up and
Yep.
love on
Yeah.
you and set you straight.
Yeah.
And then you don't see them for years and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Right. Because
you still know.
I hadn't talked to
they're your
you.
best friend.
I remember I hadn't talked to you in probably almost a year, like on the
Yeah.
phone. And it was just like,
Yeah.
okay, you need
Yeah.
me, and this is
Here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
That is
I mean,
so
you have
Aaron
friends
and I.
Yeah.
Because we,
Like they
well,
hear
we,
they hear it in your voice and they're like,
Yes.
do you need me now? I will
yeah,
come to you.
yeah,
Wherever
like
you are.
whatever
I will
it
come.
is. Yes.
And I think I said that to
Like,
you.
do you
I was
need
like,
me?
I will come drive
I-
to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. For one instance, when Tanner and I, we were living in Seattle. So Aaron and I grew up in the same place until about 8th grade. And then I moved. So we only were like physically friends in the same place for about 4 years. But we've
Wow.
stayed lifelong best friends since.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's cool.
But
That gives me
which that
chills.
says a lot
A
about
lot.
our
Yeah.
friendship, right? So Tanner and I were living in Seattle, and I remember we were moving back to Texas, which is a 26-hour drive. And
Ugh.
Tanner could only go so far with me, and then he had to go back to get his own car. And I was just like, I remember I called Aaron, because that's, you call Aaron when you freak out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I have to drive this whole way by myself. And like, I was just not at a point where I could handle doing that by myself.
Mhm.
And she immediately like booked a hotel for us in New Mexico, bought a plane ticket. She
met
was
you
like,
there.
I'll finish the drive with you and then I'll fly home. Like, she
Yeah.
just has always been in my corner, you know? And
Yeah.
especially, like I said, because we didn't, honestly, the majority of our friendship has not been us living in the same place at
No.
all. But when
No.
you go through, and we've both totally gone through different seasons of life, like we're never
Mhm.
really at the same point in our life.
Mhm.
But we were talking about this last week when we were together, and it's just interesting that like you just know, like that person is just a part of you in a way that
Mhm.
you know that they're there for you. And if you need to be told something that nobody else will tell you
Mhm.
that
That's
might be
hard
tough to
too.
hear,
Yes.
she'll tell you because she cares too much to not let you hear it, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
When you find a friend like that as an adult, you
Mhm.
need to hang on.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
totally.
but you can't expect to find friends like that if you are not that friend.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. You
Yeah.
need to
And-
pour into someone just as much as you expect them to pour into you.
Absolutely. And it definitely the trials in life are the test for friendships for
Mhm.
sure, because
Mhm.
there have been quite a few times that, trials and
But
tribulations.
I was the energy suck. And usually I'm like the battery, you know?
Yeah.
Right, right. Well, there's people that charge you and people that drain you,
Yeah.
you know?
And yeah. And when you've got somebody that sticks with you through both sides of that,
Yes,
where you can recharge
exactly.
each other, because
yes.
you
When
can't
you know
always be the other, you know, you can't
No.
always be the happy, sometimes you gotta fall
Exactly.
apart. 'Cause that's what
Exactly.
happens.
And I've found many times in my life that I've been that friend that is always charging everyone,
Mhm, mhm.
and,
Yes.
and no one is helping
There
my
to
battery
charge
Yes.
you.
charge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And part of that is my personality, because I do love to help build people up and
Yes.
and listen to them and make them feel important and make them feel heard.
Mhm.
But, I
In the
want to be heard
process
every
of-
now and
Yeah.
then.
Well, you have to. You're human. Like you
Yeah.
have to break down in order to build up sometimes, you know?
Yep.
And like, especially if you are the friend that like you're known for always carrying those people on your shoulders and
Mhm.
like always being everybody's hero and stuff like that. Like typically those are the people that need the most help, but they'll never
Mhm.
admit it because they
Yep.
don't feel like
Yeah.
they can.
Yes.
So knowing that you have someone in your corner that knows that you're as strong
You
as
can
you
just
are,
be
but
raw.
also, yes, but
Yeah.
also knows that you're still
Yeah.
human. You still
Yeah.
need help.
Yes.
You're
Yep.
still a
Yep.
hot mess.
Yeah.
Hot
and
mess
they
express.
accept that. Yeah.
Yes, for
Yeah.
real, for real. No, it's pretty amazing, and especially the timing. Like it just never ceases to amaze me when I don't need my batteries recharged often, but
Yes.
there's been so many times where like we get to see each other and it was like the perfect timing. Like I needed my batteries recharged,
Mhm.
and it's just true friendship is. I mean, we humans in general were meant for relationships.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
And community is just, it's something that is I think that it's being overlooked because we live in a day and age of social media driven everything.
Mhm.
And you feel, and that being said, in the online communities, there's definitely real community there,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but that does not replace this.
Time
This.
together.
Yeah.
Real,
You know, and
like-
the world. in the world that we are so connected, we're
Mhm.
honestly
so
so
disconnected.
disconnected from
Mhm.
human interaction,
Yep.
Mhm.
because people will think, I talk to you online, so you're my best friend.
Mhm.
But
Or
they
I
don't
stay
have-
updated.
Yes,
I saw
yeah.
that your kids went to that camp.
Yeah.
Which that's like,
and so I
that's,
know what's going on in your
yeah,
life.
yeah, which is awesome.
Heck
Like
yeah.
that's so awesome that you
Yeah,
really can
yeah.
just pick up with
But it
people
can't
and you know what's going on.
replace.
No.
But it
And-
doesn't replace. Yeah, it doesn't replace being with someone, spending
Mhm.
time with them, looking them eye to eye.
Yeah.
You know, like it's such a big difference.
Or when you find out on social media something very important to someone that you thought you were important to.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's happened to me on
Yeah.
a few occasions, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
hurts. It's,
Yeah.
you know, but I think so many people feel that that's a replacement. And, you know, I
Mhm.
will be the first to admit, I think that my ex-husband felt that way for a lot of the latter part of our marriage. And, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I can justify it all I want, but,
Sure.
you know, there were quite a few times that I would, and not even anything important, but just put it on social media and be like,
oh, I saw
yeah,
this about you.
yeah. And, you know,
It just makes your special people feel generic.
not special. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're
Yeah.
just
That's
like-
such a good way to put it.
I'm on the same level as everyone else. It's not
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
you're my person.
So I
and
get to
tell
be
you things.
informed the same time that the
As
person that you met at the grocery store does.
Right.
Like,
Or-
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Somebody who took your class.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as
Doesn't even know your last name.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And as trivial as that sound, that can hurt.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
It stings.
and
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
it- like,
Yeah.
and it's, you know, and oftentimes that hurt is never recognized,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
sits there, and then that resentment really can taint a relationship forever, you know?
Yeah.
So
And on the flip side of that, though, like, for example, this podcast, like, this gives us a platform to be able to become people's friends without ever really seeing, like, when we were at Summit and I realized, like, I knew people were listening to our podcast. Like, I knew they were, like, I knew the number, but I didn't know the impact. Like, I had so many
right?
people that came up to me. They're like, you're Cynthia, like, you don't know it, but we're such good friends. Like, I listen to
know.
the podcast
yes.
and you and I are one and the same. Like, we're friends. And like,
That comes
I
from
just
being
was like,
raw.
Yes.
right?
yeah, yeah.
If
And
you were
so,
on here like pretending everything was all, you know, and
Yeah,
having it all together,
yeah.
people are like, I can't relate to you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not like that.
Well, and
which,
that's
so
that's
in the
that's
same
half the
breath
reason
of,
that I don't like to plan. I mean, like when we talk about, you know,
Yeah.
like yesterday we recorded the episode about birth control pills.
Mhm.
Like there were definitely things that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that are, you know, science, medicine, whatnot. But for the most part, I will never have a script on what we talk about on this
Yeah.
podcast, because
then it's real.
it's real,
Yeah.
raw, authentic,
Yeah.
and you know, how many females are going to listen to this and be like, yes, and they're
Yeah.
going to call up their girlfriend
and
and
be like, this is you. They're talking about
Yes.
you and me.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
and
for sure.
you know, that's another point that we need to make, is that you need to make sure that your loved ones know how important they
Mhm.
are,
Yeah.
and
Don't
just
ever take that for
Very
granted.
much.
Don't ever.
No.
Ever.
Never,
Uh,
never.
Send them a text message, call them out of the blue,
Yeah.
you know, but just you know, friends like this do not come around very
Mhm.
often in life. And when you come across another female that is truly just a gem, you need to hang on to them, and you need to
Yeah.
give to them what you would want from them. And
Yes.
that being said, it's never a guarantee that it's going to be given back, but you are the only person that you can control.
Yeah.
And if you want that friend, you have to be that friend.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
but yeah, no, I I thought that an episode of friendship is something that would be perfect to talk about, because you just got back from Vegas, and I mean, it's been what, a year, and well, it was last May when we were there when we were
floating on
floating
the street.
floating on your street, floaties and snorkels. That
So
was last time. And you know, we'll text and talk and randomly connect, but you know, I mean, I'm super busy, she's super busy, but
Yeah.
we pick up just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a true friend does. And I'm grateful for you. And we have work to do, because we have 4 songs in which I have to teach her and film. And then Robert has a lot of work to do, because he's got to get those videos up for my pro members. But
Job
they're-
security, Robert.
yeah, for real. And Cynthia, I'm kind of sad that you're not here. So one of the songs, it's called, I can't even make up this name. It's called, well, not that you have a little booty, but it's called Little Booties Matter.
Oh,
Did you do it for me? We were talking about this yesterday. I was like, I don't have a butt. She's like, have you ever tried to build it? And I was like, yeah, it seems like a lot of work. I'm just gonna stick it.
Just gonna own my territory.
It's just like a
Yeah.
wall.
No, but the reason why I'm thinking of you is because I was like, this is a perfect song to teach my class people and my pro members like literally how to twerk and
Oh,
to
good.
Yes.
I'm really bad at it. I was just trying to practice in the bathroom.
she goes it's pop out, and I'm
It's
like, well,
it's
that's
an
one
out.
of the ways. And
Kinda. It's all in your knees. Everybody thinks it's in their hips and it's not. It's all in your knees and your
I
feet.
look,
dude, the first
I
time
look like a robot trying to dance.
it's gonna be awesome.
like
y'all. But the great thing is that like literally like she and I both don't like, we set our ego aside, and
yeah.
if we
You're just
both
having
look
fun.
stupid, we're gonna look
You're just
stupid. Like
having
we're gonna
fun.
have fun.
I'm gonna
It's,
look
it's
stupid.
gonna be
For
it's gonna be
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's
But
so
the first
awesome.
time I ever met Cynthia, we were all going on a coach cruise together, and the music starts playing on the ship deck, and she starts popping her booty, and I'm like, where did this white girl come from? Like, the girl can booty pop.
How did you learn how?
Do you hear?
Can you show me how? My
Yes,
body
I
does
will.
not move like
Girl,
this.
when I was in Vegas this past weekend, all the girls were like, "Okay, Cynthia, how do we twerk?" Like, so we had a little twerk
twerk
101, a little twerk 101.
Did
I need
they
to
learn?
learn.
They did, and I was a proud mom.
Okay.
They shook it, and I was a proud mom.
So give listeners your top 3 pieces of wisdom on how to twerk. Because you're
We should
not
do
a
a whole
dancer.
podcast
As
on
you
this.
speak,
But,
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
practice.
So
reality is-
I was a dancer for a very brief time in my life, like maybe 3 years in high school and then a little bit as a kid. But
Okay.
so I learned how to twerk from YouTube tutorials.
like you search for it?
Legit, like
That's
I
awesome.
did, because
This is why I love her.
I
This
was
is
like
life skills.
18 or 19 and like, yeah, it's life skills. Like this
It
goes on a
is.
resume,
you have to
right?
know these things. Yeah.
It has to go. If I had a
Putting
resume,
right under my
like
headshot knows how to
yes, yes,
I
yes,
took the Cynthia.
yeah.
101
CPR certified.
class. Yes.
CPR
And
certified in twerk 101. Like,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
got it.
yes. Okay,
No,
so continue.
But
Continue.
I watched those YouTube tutorials and I practiced and I was horrible.
Did you
Because
do it in the mirror?
I did, girl. Yes, you
You
have to
gotta
see what you're
see.
doing.
I know.
No, but because I've always had a bigger booty for a white girl, and everybody's like, "But you don't know how to move your butt. Like, how do you not
I'm
know
gonna
how to
learn.
move your butt?" So I was like, "I'm gonna learn how to move this booty. Like,
Watch
it's gonna
this.
happen." So I did, and I mastered my craft. And so
love it.
Okay, so besides
It's
YouTube,
all-
what
it's-
other tips do you have
it's-
for listeners?
all in your knees. You just like
Okay.
you have to
Knees.
be a metronome. Like your knees are your metronome. So a metronome is like what keeps the pace. Like musicians use it to like set
Yeah.
the pace for their music, right? So your knees
Wait,
are
my
just a-
knees are the metro.
yes, and they like you pedal back and forth, kind of like your knees move, and that's what moves your booty. It's not your hips. It's not your back. Like everybody always pops their back, and yeah,
I look like
maybe
I'm waggling. I look like a dog.
like you just like everybody moves their upper body, like they move their butt, and you don't move your butt. It's all in your hips and like your knees. Like your knees moves your hips, which moves your butt. Like
The best thing, like, so on Thursday, I was teaching all my people, like literally, I have them all turn to face right, and so they can see themselves in the mirror. And I'm like, okay, I want you to not think about it. Like,
yes,
don't
everybody overthinks
Oh.
it.
yes, and don't
Yeah.
tense your muscles. Like,
Yes.
literally, the more relaxed your muscles are,
Yes,
the more whatever you have behind
It's gonna,
is gonna
it's gonna move.
move
yes.
around.
do the
Because
thing.
if your booty's tight, if your muscles are clenched, you're anticipating it. It's not gonna move.
No, and this is
You gotta
exactly
be
why.
relaxed.
This is
I
exactly
think the
why.
problem is I don't have it doesn't. There's
No.
nothing there.
It
No,
will,
it's like
girl.
bone
It doesn't
skin.
matter how
It will.
little or much you have. It will move. It will.
And this is
I
why I
really
told
want to
you.
get up and try it.
I love how this went from best friends to twerking 101. No, so
No,
funny.
but
But
I messaged her this morning and I'm like, we're gonna wear booty shorts for the one of the videos, and she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, you have to, because in these stretchy pants, you can't get the booty bounce on the twerking.
yeah, no,
I mean,
you can't wear tight clothes. It's got to be. You got to give yourself room to move.
Room to move.
Room to move. No, my best friend when we were in Vegas though, we had all it was cute. They got us swimsuits, like the group of us matching swimsuits. They all were in
cute.
black swimsuits that said squad, and mine was white and it said bride.
Cute.
So,
Aw.
but my best friend was like, my swimsuit should have said security because I was smacking hands away from your booty left and right.
And you have no pictures.
Why?
Her
don't.
phone was stolen.
5
my
of 6 of us got our
gosh.
phones stolen, so I have no picture.
Terrible. I know.
But she was like,
Yeah.
Girl, I know, but it's all up here. But she was
Yeah.
like, she's just doing her. Like, I'm just here to dance with my friends. Like,
Yeah.
not here to entertain any of you.
Yeah.
Don't
Mm-mm.
talk to me. Don't
Exactly.
touch me. Like,
Exactly.
so
kinda
it was
true.
just so yeah, exactly.
It was our second night in New Orleans, and me and all my coaches went out. There was this one, because I don't drink, and
Yeah.
some of my coaches do, which whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
But
to
I
each
wanted to
their
go listen to live music, right? I didn't want to go to Frenchman Street, which is
Yeah.
essentially the grown up Bourbon Street. Like, I mean, there's
Yeah.
still drunk,
All the
stupid people.
locals, all the
but
locals
yeah,
tell you to
more
go
the-
there instead
yeah.
of bourbon.
Yeah, and so we went there for to listen to live music. But as soon as we get dropped off, there's like this 10-piece band that's playing like they're kids, like no kidding, probably 17, 18, 19 years old, and it's just like amazing music. I mean, you can't like I mean, I
can't
still
hold
hear
still,
like,
yeah.
exactly. And I was wearing some booty shorts, and literally I was just like, okay, I got to dance. And I mean, there were some people that were like, wait, how are you moving your booty like that? And it's just you let it just go.
It's its
You
own
do.
art.
Yeah.
It's seriously the funnest, like most liberate. Like, I don't do it to try to be sexy or to try to get anybody's attention. Like, it's just so fun. Like, it's so liberating.
No, but can we talk about like the purpose of it? This is what I told my ladies, because okay, so in my Thursday class, I pretty much have all females except
Yeah.
for this one dude. He's awesome.
Lucky
no
man.
kidding. Yeah. No kidding. So shout out to basketball dude. So no, and I say this because he always brings a basketball in, and he'll take my choreography and add basketball.
That's
stuff to
so
it.
cool.
I know. Like when,
That's-
when
You know
my
what?
friends-
He's a genius coming in there showing off his
Oh,
moves to
yeah.
30 ladies. He's a
Yes,
genius.
dude.
I applaud him.
I don't know why more straight men don't come into my class. All I'm
Right.
saying, like, there's
Right.
a bunch
The
of
odds are
hot
in your
chicks.
favor.
Into any fitness class. Like, just if you're a smart guy and you're at the gym, go stand in the back row of a
For
Group X
real.
class and
Mhm.
you'll
For
say-
real. But especially one that there's booty shaking. I mean,
yeah.
come
oh,
on.
Yeah.
So this was before he got there, because I was going through the choreography before class, and I'm like, ladies, let's just be honest. And I'm gonna be quiet here because we're at a nice, respectful place. These moves are not just meant for the dance room.
Right.
They're meant for the
Right.
bedroom.
Right.
So if you can learn it here and then translate it into there, your man is gonna be happy.
Mhm.
Just saying.
You're well.
I ain't get
Mhm.
married for no reason, girl.
See, and you've got it.
Yeah.
You took 101. Now you're gonna go to
Right?
master's
Yeah.
class.
The advanced
Whole
level.
new level.
Beginner to advance.
Whole new
Yeah,
level.
for real. Yeah, no, one of my favorite things is when females come up to me and are like, my husband is really happy I take your class. I'm like,
Oh yeah, girl.
yes.
Mhm. Yeah. But no, if your
Oh,
best friend is like, yeah, that's my girl, she's doing her thing, I'm letting her do her like, yeah, it's
Yes.
just so
And-
funny.
and and this is another point that I wanted to make before we wrap this episode about friendship up.
And twerking.
And twerking. I mean,
Obviously.
every good friendship has twerking, right?
right?
No,
Every good conversation.
yes, yes, 100%. But I want to make sure that I reiterate that jealousy cannot be part of a friendship.
No.
It cannot be part
Know
of a
your
friendship.
strengths.
Yeah, no, seriously, and that's so easily said, but so hard to do amongst
Uh-huh.
us females, because this society makes it where we want to break down other females that are doing well instead of build up. And I'd say this on Lauren Live all the time, like, imagine this world if all of us females, I know it sounds cheesy, but united and like built each other up and like, oh my gosh, I see these great qualities in you, and just keep going instead of like, oh, I mean, and you see, as you become more happy, more successful, you see more haters, and those are people that are unhappy in their own
Mhm.
skin, in their own
Oh, yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And a true friendship, you can't have jealousy. And if you feel jealousy coming on, that needs to be a big red sign that something's going on in you that you need to deal with. Because if there is jealousy in either part of those two people, it's going to hurt that friendship for good.
Yeah.
And
it manifests in weird ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
Really,
especially if you try to suppress that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get to a point where you're like, I don't even know who said that.
Yeah.
I don't even know who I am.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that I could be jealous of her, and there's a lot of reasons that she could be jealous of me. And not once in our friendship has there ever felt any ounce of jealousy. And it's truly like it's unconditional love. It's
unconditional love with yourself though.
Yes.
Too. Like you have to be.
You
have to be like, look at all I have.
Yes.
And this is great. And I can work for more, but I don't want what you have.
Right.
Because I have what I have.
Yes.
That's why it's great.
Yeah.
You need your own podcast. You're a wise woman.
You do.
No, but you will definitely be back for another guest appearance.
If I can come back here, yes.
If Erin didn't live off the grid right now, I would have had her on for this because
that would have been awesome.
I know, but right now she lives in Kodiak Island in Alaska, like 300 people. Like she's there she
on
works
purpose?
for like she and her boyfriend are like huge, like fishing, hunting
outdoor
people. And so they're there working for like a charter company that does like fishing tours, like salmon fishing tours
season and stuff.
So they're just there for the summer. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, if she wasn't out in the middle of nowhere, I would have been like, girl. So we got to do like a 2.0.
Yeah.
We got to have Erin on. Because literally
2.0,
sitting here watching you, sitting here watching you guys interact is like a mirror of Erin and I.
Yes. And I think people watching this will think the same thing.
Yeah.
They will like send the link to their friend, like, watch this.
Yes.
It's us.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, people that are watching live right now, you need to share this and tag your best friend.
That's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
because truly, like we need this female fellowship. We need it. It is in our DNA. It rejuvenates our soul, our spirit, our mind, our body, everything. And I just want to end this episode by giving a shout out to not just you, but all of the females in my life that have been that friend for me. Every single one of you are super special to me. I love every single one of you. And life is better because each of you are in my life. And I know that Cynthia feels the same way. And for those of you that are watching live, thank you for taking time to watch on your Saturday. Hopefully wherever you're at in the world, it's a beautiful day. If not, hopefully this made it a little bit more beautiful.
Yes.
And exactly. And Cynthia, you have a message to close out for us, right?
I do. You are a good person and you deserve good things to happen to you.
And you deserve good friends that love you unconditionally. Yes. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a fits and healthy day. We'll see you next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Make sure that you find us on social media. You can find Cynthia on Instagram and Facebook at Cynthia. So that's CINTHANIE. And on Snapchat at Cynthia P. And find me on social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at Club Fitz Fitness. Remember, that's FITZ Fitness. And on Snapchat, just at Club Fitz. I appreciate your time listening so much. If you enjoyed this episode of the Fits and Healthy podcast, can you please go do me a favor and go subscribe at whatever platform that it is that you listen to podcasts. Leave a review. We read every single review and we appreciate the time that you take to leave your thoughts and opinions. Now, also remember, while I am a medical doctor, the information I provide here is not intended to provide medical advice or professional diagnosis, opinion, treatment, or services to you or to any other individual. I am providing general information for educational and informational purposes only, and it is not a substitute for medical or professional care. You should not use this information in place of a visit, call, consultation, or the advice of your physician or other healthcare provider. The information I share is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any disease or medical condition. If you believe you have a medical emergency, just call 911 immediately or your physician. Now, enough of that medical legal jargon. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I appreciate your time. Now go live a fit and healthy life.